Hello, welcome back to Learn Economia. In this video, we are going to look at the Keynesian consumption function. For the sake of convenience, this lengthy topic has been divided into different sections. So actually, the topic has been divided into 4 different sections or 4 different videos. The first part would be analyzed in this video. The consumption function states that aggregate real consumption expenditure of an economy is a function of the real national income, and this is actually known as a Keynesian consumption function. But if you look into the case of classical economists, you could see that they have used to argue that consumption was a function of the rate of interest, such that as rate of interest increase, the consumption expenditure decrease, and vice versa. Keynes stated that the rate of interest may have some influence on consumption, but real income was a very important factor or very important determinant which influences consumption. It should be remembered that in the consumption function, consumption expenditure refers to the intended or ex ante consumption, not the actual consumption. Or we are referring to the desired consumption, not the actual consumption. So income refers to anticipated income, not the actual income. Okay. Therefore, the consumption function shows that both consumption expenditure would be at different levels of income. The aggregate consumption in the economy could be found out from the consumption expenditure of different individuals purchasing commodities. The quantities of commodities are given as Q1, Q2 and Qn, and the prices of these commodities are P1, P2 to Pn. Hence, the total consumption expenditure of all the individuals in the economy would be equal to sigma I equal to 1 to n P1 Q1. But not P1 Q1, it's Pi QA, okay, because we are summing the total expenditure on consumption. But from the consumer's utility maximization analysis, we could understand that the amount of any commodity consumed is a function of all the prices as well as the income of the consumer. So Qi is a function of Qi into P1, P2 to Pn, comma y, where I is equal to 1, 2, 3 to n. And y is the income of the consumer. Let Cj be the total consumption expenditure of the jth individual, so that he can find out the consumption of that individual j. Okay. This means that when all the prices and the level of income change in the same proportion, we can understand that the consumption expenditure will also change in the same proportion. If we write all the prices as P and money incomes as Ym, then we can write Cm is equal to Cm into Ymp, where Cm is the aggregate consumption expenditure in money terms, not real terms, in money terms. This function will be homogeneous of degree 1 in Ym and P. Thus, real aggregate consumption function states that real consumption is a function of real income, and consumption function could be written as C is equal to C a function of Y, or C Y. That means that consumption is a function of Y. The real consumption expenditure, and Y is real national income. C is the real consumption expenditure, okay, in real terms. And this is the actual Keynesian consumption function, which could be represented by using a straight line consumption function which has got a constant slope at all the points. Here, the marginal propensity to consume decreases as income increases. As per Keynes, the consumption function should possess certain properties or certain characteristic features. First of all, aggregate real consumption expenditure is a stable function of real income. Secondly, marginal propensity to consume, or the slope of the consumption function, this must lie between 0 and 1, and the average propensity to consume, or the proportion of income spent on the consumption, should be decreasing as the income increases. From the relation between marginal as well as average propensity to consume, we could understand that when this average propensity falls, marginal propensity is below the average. Thus, when the average propensity to consume falls, the marginal propensity to consume must be lower than the average propensity to consume. Fourthly, we could understand that the marginal propensity to consume itself probably decreases, or it can remain constant as the income increases. If you look at the figure, you can find the 4 characteristics by the shape of the consumption function. If we draw a straight line consumption function with a positive intercept with the vertical axis, and which intersect the 45-degree line from above. This has got all the 4 characteristics which we have already explained. So the consumption function given here is PQ. This is a straight line, and OT is a straight line passing through the origin, making an angle of 45 degree which intersect the consumption function which is below the point T. And this consumption function PQ satisfies all the 4 properties which we have discussed earlier. It represents a stable relationship between consumption and income. The slope of the line PQ represents marginal propensity to consume, which has got a positive slope. Again, the consumption function would cut the 45-degree line from above, which means that PQ is flatter than 45-degree line and its slope is less than 45-degree line. The slope of PQ is given by MFC, and the slope of 45-degree line is equal to 1. That is tan 45 equal to 1. Tan 45 equal to 1. That's why the slope is given as 1. So we could see that it satisfies all the properties of the diagram which we have explained earlier. And also the MPC, marginal propensity to consume, is a value between 0 and 1. But the average propensity to consume will be different at different points of your consumption. So and also we could see that at point P the average propensity to consume is infinite. Again, just consider different point T where the consumption is TS and income is OS. So that APC is equal to TS by OS, and slope is equal to slope of OT, which is equal to 1. The average propensity to consume at any point on the consumption function is the slope of the line joining that point with the origin. To the left of T, AFC is greater than 1, and to the right of T, AFC is less than 1. This is an important thing which you have to remember. This means that to the left of T, consumption is greater than income, and as a result, APC is a value which is greater than 1. On the other hand, to the right of T, your income is more than your consumption, so that C by Y would be a value which is less than 1. The APC decreases, we move along the consumption function from left to right. Since the average propensity to consume decreases as income increases, the marginal propensity to consume must be less than the average propensity to consume. Thus, the third characteristic is also fulfilled by the straight line consumption function. Fourthly, if the consumption function is a straight line, the slope of the consumption function is constant at all the points, and the marginal propensity to consume is to decrease as income increases, and the consumption function is considered to be non-linear. One thing I would like to mention, it is not MFC here, it is MPC, okay, marginal propensity to consume. It will be a concave figure, or it will be a concave diagram, and this curve, so it will be a concave curve to the horizontal axis. The equation of a straight line, linear line consumption function would be written as C is equal to A plus Vy, where we know that A is the autonomous consumption, B is the marginal propensity to consume, and Y is the income. Let's assume that A is greater than 0. That means that even if your income is 0, you will consume out of your borrowing or saving or whatever it may be, and B, your marginal propensity to consume is a value which lies between 0 and 1. So the consumption is considered to be upward rising. Again, your APC is considered to be C by Y. In this case, C by Y will decrease as the income increases, so that the APC will be C by Y is equal to A by Y plus DC by DY. That is change in consumption as a result of change in income. These 4 characteristics of consumption function mentioned by Keynes were not derived from theoretical analysis or any empirical research. He has derived all this proportion from some kind of intuition. Keynes called it fundamental psychological law, that people do not spend the entire amount on the increase in income, and they save a part of their income. This means that the marginal propensity to consume is positive, always positive, but it can be less than 1, or it should be less than 1. The consumption income ratio falls as income increases, which means that there is a non-proportional relationship between consumption as well as income. So that's all for the first part. Please like, share and subscribe to this channel for more videos. I welcome you to my Telegram group and Telegram channel to discuss your